Hello friends, welcome back to our channel StudyDesk4U. This is Satish. Today I would like to discuss about Python basics. So today the agenda is variables and how to declare the variables and how to initialize the variables, and then we will see that output statement and input statement, and then we will see the comments, data types. So what are the different data types available in the Python and how to typecast the data from one data type to another data type, and what is indentation and how it is important in Python, and finally we'll see the execution of the code. So these are the main things today we are going to be covering in this particular course. So these are the topics we are going to be covering in this video. So first we are going to start with variable. So a variable is a place of memory where we can store the information. So that means whatever the data we are going to be using in the program, so that we need to store in some particular memory or some particular location, so that we can't represent physically in computer. So we need some alias name for the respective memory address, so that one only variable. So a variable is a pointer to the address of the value where it is stored in the memory. So it is the value which is generally changed during the program execution. That means a variable always varies from requirement to requirement. So initially some value we may initialize, but later on we can change it. So finally a variable is a simple value which is used in the program. So how we can define the variable means, in Python there is no need of define the data type separately, just you can write variable is equal to value. So variable here, so let us assume that here variable is x and value is 1. So some more examples for variables are age, name, height, course, balance, like that. So whatever the information we are going to be storing in the program, so that all are represented by variables. And how to update the variable? So generally the name what we are using, we can replace the value by n number of times. Like initially, here in example if you see, initially website is initialized with kennisworld.com and I am printing the website name. In this case it is printing kennisworld. But again I am updating this website variable with code2lead.com, so that will be given print website code2lead.com. That means initially the website value will be kennisworld, but later on it will be code2lead.com. So like that we can change the value of the variable on the fly and assigning the value. So we can assign the values individually or multiple values at a time. So if you consider this example, so here I written website equal to kennisworld and print website. That means it is having only one value in the website. Now if you observe here in this case, see, I am initializing 3 variables at a time. Like example, name comma age comma salary is equal to Satish comma 30 comma 30,000. So here name will be assigned with Satish, age will be assigned with 30, and salary is assigned with 30,000. So like that we can assign the multiple values to multiple variables, and also we can assign the same value to the multiple variables also. Like here if you consider example, p1 equal to p2 equal to p3 equal to 100, that means p1 value will be 100, p2 value will be 100, and also p3 value also here 100. So like this the same value we can assign into the different variables also. This is we call multiple assignments. So this is all about variable. And next, output statement. So generally in any programming language we require IO, that means input statement and output statement. So output statement is used to print the output on the monitor or console generally. So Python providing print as an inbuilt function to print the output on the monitor. So the syntax of the print is print followed by message and separator. So you can separate the content by some delimiter, and after that end with, like if you want to go for new line and equal to slash n, that will be the by default. If you are not given also, we'll take it by slash n only. If you want to print the content in the same line, you can mention the space in the end. And file, so generally it is standout, that means standard output, that is console, and even you can mention standard error or some other file to store the data. And flush is nothing but false or true. So false means the flush is buffering generally. So if you want to clean the buffer every time, you should mention flush equal to true, otherwise it will be false. So like that we can use the print statement. So in the example if you consider print hello world, that will be print the hello world, and I given n equal to 10, print n. That means n value will be printed, and print n equal to comma n. So here the output will be n equal to 10. So please remember this point. Comma is concatenation operator in Python. So Python, if you want to concatenate with two strings or two values, generally we are using comma as a separator. So here if you consider print hi comma Satish, means you will get the hi Satish, and print 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 separator equal to colon. That means here you are getting the output 10 is to 20 is to 30 is to 40 like that. And print hello world and equal space, that will be in the same line. And even we have a format function for the string notation. So that will be given in a required format with curly notation, curly bracket notation. So if you consider here in example x equal to 10, y equal to 20. So the how I am writing, see here, the value of x is curly bracket, y is format x comma y. So that means x will be replaced with first curly bracket and y will be replaced with second curly bracket. And even you can change the positions by mentioning the index number like 0, 1, 2, 3 like that also. So basically the print statement is used to print the output on the Python program. And the next one is input statement. So it is used to read the input from the keyboard dynamically. So if you want to assign the data statically, we cannot change the data after execution. So whenever you want to pass the data dynamically at the time of execution, so we should use input statement. So in Python, input is the inbuilt function to read input from the keyboard. So here, if I mention name equal to input of enter your name. So here it is asking to user to enter some name. So now the whatever he entered from the keyboard, that is going to be storing in the name. And that is again printed on the console by using print name. So likewise, print enter your race is equal to input. The same way we are going to be printing. And number reading, like whenever you want to read the number, so by default Python input statement will read the data in the form of string. Like whenever you want to read integers or float or text or anything, by default it will convert into string format. So whenever you want to do any kind of mathematical operations, you need to typecast into respective numerical format. So for that, we have inbuilt functions like int of, float of, like that. So if you consider example here, print enter two values, a equal to int of input, b equal to int of input, c equal to a plus b. Now the output will be printed as a summation. And comments. So comments usually used to describe or document the program or instructions. So whatever the program we are writing in any programming language or scripting language, it should be readable format and more clear to every user, every developer. So to make it the code more readable and more simplified, we may maintain the documentation for the instructions. So for that, generally we are using comments. And comments are not executable. You cannot find the comments in the output. It is only part of program. So here we have two types of comments: single line comments, multi-line comments. So if you have a requirement to write only one line of statement, you can go for single line comments. And single line comments in Python started with hash symbol, and this hash followed by content won't get into output as part of your execution. And multi-line comments are nothing but if you want to write more than one line as part of your documentation, we may go for multi-line comments. So to write the multi-line comments in Python, we are using triple quotes. So coming to data types. So data types are indicating what type of data we are going to be using or we are going to be storing. So generally data type is indicating two things. One is type of the information and also the size of the data, how much it is going to be storing in the memory. And generally data types are used to represent the variables. And here Python supports different types of data types. Out of that, first one is number type. In the numbers, we have again three types. One is int, another one float, another one is complex. Int means it is straightforward integer numbers like 20, 30, 40 like that. Float means decimal values like 20.561, 1 point something like that. And complex numbers means plus b j format. And then strings. So strings are nothing but collection of characters. Even single character also represented as part of text category only. So here if you mention in double quotes, it will treat as a string. If you specify in single quote, it will treat as a character. And boolean, it is having true values only, true, false. And the very important topic in Python, collection data type. So in next class, we are going to be covering in detail about collections. But briefly, if you see here, a collection is nothing but a set of different or same data type elements. Like when you want to store single value, then we may go for either number, string, boolean. But if you want to store multiple values at a time, it may be same type, it may be different type, then we can go for collections. So in Python, we have four types of collections like list, tuple, set, and dictionary. List is nothing but it's a collection of same or different data type elements, and it is a mutable. Mutable means the data what we have stored in list we can change after execution and later on in the program. But as a tuple, we can't change the data or we can't modify the data. It's just like constant. So it is a immutable object. And the set is a unordered sequence of data. That means the data what we stored in the set will be stored internally. So set is the data which is storing without duplication. So whereas list and tuple you can store the duplicate data, but in set we can't store it. It will allow only unique values. And lastly, dictionary. It is a collection of key value pairs. So that means at each time we can store two values. One is key, another one is value. So these are the four types of collection types available in the Python. As per our requirement, we may use any one of them. Type conversion. So means if you want to convert from one data type to another data type, we may call it as type conversion. So we may have two types: implicit type conversion, explicit type conversion. So implicit type conversion means in this automatically system itself convert from one type to another type. But whereas in explicit, the system won't convert. Externally, we have to convert from one type to another type by using inbuilt functions like int, float, string, something like that. So both we call generally type conversions, but explicit specifically called as typecasting. And lastly, indentation. So Python does not support curly bracket to represent the block representation as like Java or C. So Python purely supporting indentation structure to represent the block. So it's somewhat easy, but you need to maintain the proper indentation to maintain the blocks. If you want to write some if block or for loop, something like that, we have to maintain clearly blocks as an indentation. So indentation might be tab space or two spaces or anything, but you have to keep on maintain equal spaces. So that is very, very important. Otherwise, it will raise an exception, indentation error. So indentation also is a very important part of Python program writing. Now we will see the execution of the topics what we covered in previously. So first topic we covered here is variables. So how to store the variable and how to initialize we'll see now. So as part of this we are using Jupyter. So I already show you how to install the Jupyter and how to use it in previous video. You can see in the description also for that video. And now I'm defining a variable called name. So where I'm storing Satish. So I just want to print that name. So print bracket open and followed by name. So this is the single variable. So simply name equals Satish, you see print name. So it will print the Satish. So let's take example I'm giving. So website is equal to nnisworld.com and I'm printing print website, and then I'm again reinitializing the same variable with code to lead.com, and then again I'm printing the same variable. So now you can see that output. So initially it is Kenny's word, and then after modifying the value it is showing code to lead. So that is the way you can update the variable data, because it's a variable we can change the information unlike constant. And next we are going to be storing, see here, a equal to b equal to c equal to I'm going to be storing 10. So I'm checking that print a and then print b and then print c. So now you see all are 10. So that means a single value you can store in multiple variables at a time. And also we can able to store a comma b comma c is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. Now you see the same example, print a, print b, print c. So now you see a value will be 10, b 20, c 30. So like that different values we can assign to the different variables even in the single time. So these are the different ways of declaring the variables, and as I said in previous class, it is a dynamically typing language. That means while we are using variable or while we are declaring the variable, you need not to specify the data type. It will automatically declared by Python interpreter by assigning your value. So whatever the value we assigned, by that value it will understand what type of it is. So you need not externally define what type of it is. And now we'll see the output statement. So as I covered in previous examples also, a print is used to print the output on the monitor. So let's take example here, some other examples we will see here. So print, simply I'm writing hello world. So now you see, so simply hello world is printing. Now let us assume that I'm going to be covering n equal to 10, and now print n. So now you see it is showing n value that is stored already 10. So now I'm going to be concatenating with string with value. See here. So let's take, I'm giving Satish, and now here I'm writing, so print welcome to, so comma followed by, yeah, now you see welcome to Satish. So here welcome to is one string and Satish is another string. So both the strings will be concatenated with by using comma. So even like that we can print, see here, print 10 comma 20 comma 30. So all are concatenated here. See, all are concatenated and it will print in the screen. So like that we can print the multiple parameters at same point of time. And even we can also print, see here, but here there is a problem, like see here, let us assume that I'm trying to do one thing like hello comma 7, I'll enter. So hello 7, see here it's getting printed. Okay, so like that we can use the print statement in different ways. But if you observe here, see print hello and print Python. Now you see here what is happening means print Python. So now you see hello Python are both are coming in two different lines. So if I want to make them in single line, so how to print? See here, print hello. So here we have to add one more attribute, that is and l is equal to, that is space, and then print Python. Now you see, so it is not end l, it is just end. Yeah, see that both are will be in the same line. See here, so hello, in previous case if I'm not mentioning end, it will be by default taking as a new line, but when I'm mentioning end as a empty spaces, then automatically the both are will be printed in the same line. Even if you want to give the space between them, then give the space and alt enter. So now you see how in between hello and Python it's giving a space. So like that also we can print the statement by using end parameter. And also there is a separator, like here you see print 1 comma 2 comma 3. So now you see that this is the output for the print. So now the same thing I'm using print 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma separator is equal to, I'm mentioning colon. So now you see, so each and every value what we are printing here is separating by colon. So like that we can use the print with separator, print with end statement, print with two strings or string with value. So it depends on your requirement, we can use the print. So now we'll go for read function. So read is used to read the input from the keyboard. So let us assume that I'm giving name is equal to Satish. So this is we call static initialization. So that means whenever you are executing this statement, so it will print always the output of the statement by default directly the name. So we can't change that value. So print name. So see here the name will be Satish. But the same thing if I want to done with using dynamically. So let's take an example, name equal to input of. So input is a input function or a dynamic input function in the Python. So enter your name. So now that name I'm going to be printing. So print welcome to name. So now you see enter your name, it's asking dynamically the value to be entered. Let's take I'm giving my name Satish. So welcome to Satish. If I want to once again, if I want to run this, once again it will ask the new name. So let's take I'm giving Python. So welcome to Python. So like that dynamically at the time of execution, if you want to pass some inputs, we can use the input. So input will have two ways of syntax. One is with argument, another one without argument. With argument means the string you can pass as a input, and also we can pass like this here. See, print enter your name. So now name is equal to input of, just you can write, and now print name. Now you see the same output. So enter your name and it is asking, let's take example I'm giving Satish. So now you see it's giving Satish. So this is the way we can also read the data. And now if I want to read the, as I said, numbers, let's take example. See here, a equal to, simply I can write input value 1 example, and b is equal to input value 2. So now you see C is equal to, I'm writing simply a plus b, and then I'm writing print C. Now if see value 1 I'm giving 10 and value 2 I'm giving 20. So what is our expected output? 30. But what is coming here? You see 10, 20. See that. So what is happening here means whatever the data we entered as a 10 and 20, that by default system will treat as strings. So both are concatenated each other. So 10 plus 20 means 10 20s came. So now I want the same output in terms of integer, that is number. So how I'm doing, you see, observe here. So A is equal to same thing here, input of value 1, and now B is equal to input of value 2, and now at the time of adding the data I'm converting into integer. So int of A plus int of A. This is also called as typecasting. So from string format to integer format we are converting and we are adding that. Now finally we are printing the result. Now you see what is happening here. So value 1 20, same value to 20. Now the output is see 30. So the difference you can clearly observe here. So if I'm not converting into integers, it's giving concatenated value, whereas if I'm converting into integers, it's giving the total summation value. So that is the difference between string format to integer format. So be cautious about this line. Whenever you are reading some input with respect to numbers, please try to typecast into respective format, whether it's an integer or float, you have to typecast and then do the mathematical operation. Otherwise, you may lead to wrong results. Okay. So this is input statement. And we go for some example for indentation. See here, let us assume that a very simple example I'm giving. N is equal to some value given. So input of enter value. Example, very simple example I'm taking. I'm converting it again integer. So now I want to check that whether it is a positive or negative. So if n greater than 0, so see it's automatically come up with indentation. So now print positive, and now I'm go back to original loop, else print negative. Example I'm taking 0. Okay. So now you see what is happening here. So now enter value I'm giving 5. So it is giving positive, and again I'm running this. You just remember that to run the code you have to use the shortcut called alt enter. So whenever you want to run the code, alt enter you have to press, or otherwise you can also press the run button here also. Both the options will be available. So let's take -5. So see here negative is came. So like that the value is coming based on the condition. Let us assume that if I'm not providing this indentation, what is happening, you just check it out now. So now you see it's giving an error, expected an indented block. That means if it is a block statement, so it is expecting the blocking structure. So blocking structure in Python is indentation. So you need to provide the indentation while we are using any kind of conditional or looping statements or functions or classes. So generally whenever you are using block structures, you should provide proper indentation in the Python. So be cautious about this. Okay. And try to remember whenever you want to run the code in the Jupyter, you should use either run button here, or you can use the alt plus enter button to run the code. So this is indentation. And now we are going to be covering data types. So we have different data types. So how can we know that is really supported by Python? So for that, to check that, we have a type function. So type is an inbuilt function in Python to check that what type of respective value it is. So let us assume that we go with the simple one. Let's take str is equal to, I'm giving hello. So we know that one is a string. So whether really is string or not, we'll check it now. So print. So there is an inbuilt function type of str. So now you see it is str. Why it is showing class means in Python by default every variable treated as an object. So that means Python is a purely object oriented programming language. So it does not support any primitive data types. So as you know that one, any programming or scripting language is purely object oriented. That language does not support primitive data types. Primitives in the sense where int, float, like that. So by default, whatever the primitives are there, it will convert it internally as an object. So that is the main motto of the object oriented language. Even in Java also we have wrapper class like integer, float, double, like that. In Python also each and every variable or data type is internally treated as an object. So that is the reason it's showing as a class. And now I'm going to be covering a is equal to 10. So we know that one, it is integer. So print the type of a. So now you see it is a int. So let's take example, a is equal, I'm giving 10.5. So now print type of a. So now you see it is float, and even we have boolean. So let's take example, b is equal to true, and here I'm writing print type of b. So it is bool type, that is boolean type. Even false also a category of boolean only. So let's take, we have a is equal to, let's take s. So here I'm writing print type of a. So now you see it is a string, and now finally string is over, number is over, and boolean is over. Then now we have collection type. So collection type I'm defining first one. Let's take example, list is equal to, which is indicating by generally list is square brackets. Let's take 10 comma Satish. Okay, now you see print of type of list, list. Okay, so now you see it is showing as a list. The same thing if I'm converted as a open brackets, then it is treated as a tuple. So they're tuple. And if I'm same thing if I'm converting as a curly brackets, see here, then it is set. So only the symbols are different, that's it, the value will be same. And if I'm mentioning the same thing like this, see 10 colon something like Satish, and here 11 colon, let's take Kumar. So now you see it is dictionary. So these are the different data types which are supported in the Python to represent the variables or data, and which are used to process in your execution. So this is all about execution part what we covered in the respective video. And finally we will see that how to write the comments. So let us assume that here I am writing, see here, name is equal to, I am writing Satish. So I want to describe this name. So for that simply you can write hash, it is string variable. So now what happened, you see print name. So now you see, observe the output, it is only getting the name called Satish, but you won't get any output like it is string value because it is treating as a comment. So comments are only readable, these are not executable. So even we can write the, so this is called triple quotes. Let's take example, it's a multi-line comment which is not executable, and now I'm writing print hello. So let us assume that, so say that here also you are getting only hello, but you are not getting any, it is multi-line comments which is not executable. So like that we can also specify the comments in Python as a single line and as well as multi-line. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment in comment section. And for offline and online classes, please visit our website www.fratellonotech.com, and please visit our another website kennisworld.com for more tutorials. Please subscribe the video if you like really, and for more notifications please hit the bell icon, and please share the video and like the video. Thanks for watching this video.